argue that it's good for you. You're stop breathing.
We never had a workshop, Sam.
What are you talking about? We have workshops. We have workshops.
Maybe that's the problem. I never had a workshop.
We're back in Otter Creek at a town hall meeting where things are about to heat up, even though they're discussing air conditioning. Already, there's been 30 minutes conversation about unincorporating, where Don had to say this.
Actually, I think there's a lot of advantages to being unincorporated.
Vice Mayor Zim came back with this.
We'll pay a portion of the county taxes now.
Actual taxes are what our rate is, not the county's rate, which is higher. You're at the rate that we were talking about at the budget meeting.
So there's some of that I don't understand, so
Yes,
I won't speak to that.
That's it.
I got a house in the county,
Yeah.
and the taxes on it are 3 times higher than what the house is here.
Belinda mentioned the county rate versus the town rate. Millage rate in the county, 9.0. In the town of Otter Creek, 7.8. Vice Mayor Zim responded that he has property in an unincorporated area that he pays 3 times as much taxes on. Now, I trust the man, but I'm also a man that likes math. I'm a businessman. I got to get down to the numbers. So I did. Look at here. I got a chart. Zim's property, taxes 2022. I found a comparable property of 2022 in an unincorporated area in Levy County that would match the taxable value of Otter Creek. So let's go down the chart a little bit here. Okay, we've got Otter Creek. Zim's property 2022 in Otter Creek is incorporated. Now I found another comparable property in Morriston, which is unincorporated. Remember, most towns in Florida are unincorporated, and they all function just fine. They're still towns. There's still people there. They pay their taxes, and they're not dying with 3 times as many taxes. Let's keep on going down. Zim has 4.5 acres. The comparable property in Morriston has 4.86 acres. So this comparable property has a little bit more acreage to actually tax. Let's keep going. We've got a home and a garage on Zim's property. On my comparable property, there's a home, 2 sheds, a 3-car lean-to, or what many people would call a carport. Okay? And in Zim's property, his property is open air. The comparable property in Morriston is fenced and gated. Now, you have to understand that the tax assessors come in, they put a value on the property, but then there are also exemptions, homestead exemptions, and things along those lines. So at the end of the day, the taxable value is pretty much the same. Look at this. Zim paid in 2022 $878. The comparable property in Morriston, which is unincorporated, paid $877, with a difference of $1. Looks to me if the people of Otter Creek unincorporate, they can save a buck.
Actually, I think there's a lot of advantages to being unincorporated.
Let's jump back into the town hall meeting where there's going to be a heavy discussion about getting multiple quotes on the AC. It's getting hot in here.
On to the new business. Did y'all look through the quotes for the air conditioning repair that needs to be done? There's 3 quotes.
The air conditioning repair is in town hall. And if you recall in the previous meetings, almost a year ago, they were talking about taking the air conditioner off the septic tank. Literally off the septic tank and moving it. Now, the air conditioner can't keep up with what's going on in town hall, especially when you get a whole bunch of people in there for the meetings. And that's basically what town hall is used for. And there are 3 quotes. That's standard, and that becomes important when another quote is presented later.
So we need to make a decision on who we want to go with. We have spans.
Those aren't repairs, it's just like a replacement.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what needs to be done.
That's big.
They've band-aided it for years. Was there 3 or 2?
There's 3 there.
3.
There's 3. The work that I get is workshop. Things like
Okay.
that.
$10,000, $13,000, $14,000.
Keep in mind here that Don and Russell have both stated that they don't get any of their packets through email. Remember, Russ don't do email. Okay? And Don doesn't know how to open the attachments, according to Don, which becomes extremely important later as well. Keep that in mind. So if it looks like they're seeing all this information for the first time, it's because they are. It's literally been sitting there, their packets at town hall waiting for them. They literally live right around the corner and could walk. And Russell just goes around the town anyway and creeps on everybody, goes by the school, the children, wherever there's women. So why didn't they come and get their packets at town hall? Your guess is as good as mine.
Was this system condemned, or was it,
They keep patching and repairing it. And we discussed this at the previous meeting, and you actually made the motion for us to seek replacement. Right, so that's what we're doing.
That last meeting that Vice Mayor Zim is referring to is on the channel. It's in our playlist, Otter Creek. Just go to our channel, you find the playlist, you go through Otter Creek. There's a couple hundred videos right now. You think Don would remember some of this stuff. Maybe that's why he started to record with Russell. Or maybe they just got some extremely bad advice from...
We were trying to partially replace it, but you said, let's go for the whole. Yes. You did.
what's
So
the
now-
bold statement?
So now we're
You're being bold.
And bold.
doing span heating and air comes in, their thing is $9,850. The all seasons come in at $10,285 with additional money for insulation, which I think there's some things we need to do before you consider the insulation. But it does need to be insulated. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that mid-Florida one looks weird. That's why I was asking if there was a third one. 'Cause it just looks weird.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mid-Florida is 11,577. So Span, which is also the ones we've always used in the past, their number is considerably less than all of them.
Not including insulation.
Right, the insulation, only the one guy put the insulation on there. I guess they do insulation as well. But there's some things that need to be done in the attic and repair the ceiling before we try to insulate, so we don't waste the money on insulation. And then it fall out of the ceiling when we're trying to repair the ceiling.
Stan has been Otter Creek's AC man for quite a while, and he's the one that's band-aided the system over and over and over and over again. He's also one of the only guys that will actually come into Otter Creek. There are a lot of contractors that don't want anything to do with Otter Creek because of Otter Creek's reputation. And where's that reputation come from? Well, it comes from Russell. It comes from Mary. It comes from all the clashing and all the fighting and all the difficulties that they've made it for contractors to work in the town. Who would want to come and do the work? Not many.
Yeah, so it looks like Span is the cheaper one, and that's who y'all always have gone with as well.
I make a motion we hire Jack Span. He's serviced this system for years,
Yep.
and he would come when you called him.
Yeah.
I second it.
All right. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Unanimous? All right, we'll have Mr. Span come out.
This is a monumental moment right here. Russell actually did not go against the mayor and made the motion in favor of the actual discussion to replace the AC. I think we need to mark this on the calendar. This should be an annual event where Russell doesn't fight against progress and moving forward and doing good for the people.
Fix that.
He didn't give us any downtime to the building, did he?
I guess we'll call him, let him know he's got the bid, and we'll see what his schedule is and try to make sure it fits in within a day, maybe two. Maybe a week, there ain't nobody here. It shouldn't take them long. Ductworks, most of the ductwork seems like it is. They're just modifying a few pieces to update some of the ductwork and changing out the units.
Worst case scenario, I have a portable air conditioner we can bring in so we can be up and running anyway, so.
I'm available the 25th.
Awesome.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so we'll do the clerk position workshop Monday the 25th at 10 a.m. I'll hang a notice about that tomorrow. And the other thing we had was a new computer system. And there's some quotes from GatorWorks Computing about that.
Buckle in. Things are about to get crazy here. Now, understand GatorWorks is the only local company anywhere near in a close radius that does anything with computers, okay? If you were to get anybody else, you'd have to go into Gainesville. Gainesville can be, depending on where you're going in Gainesville, 45, even 55 minutes away. Will Gainesville people come out to Otter Creek? I don't know. One quote was provided. Remember, with AC, there were 3. This time, only 1.
The 25th of September or October?
September.
September.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I won't be able to be here. Well, it's 25th of this month, I'm going to be away.
You said you wanted to do that on a
Do you
different-
want us to reschedule that, or is it something?
Well, what have we been doing? Just going through?
Just go through to pick someone to interview.
I think that you're capable of handling it.
Okay,
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Don just mentioned he won't be available for the workshop for the council to actually choose another potential clerk. They have all the resumes, the original resume that they all chose, the clerk that they said they wanted to hire this person never showed for the interview. No show, no call, no nothing. Now Don's going to be a no-show. And next month, what do you think he's going to complain about? That he wasn't involved and a part of the process. He will not remember what he just said.
Well, y'all not fix things computer things. I don't know.
The computer, right now, we're having trouble with the desktop that has absolutely all our information. And we keep having problems moving it up when we cut the power off. So we've managed to move all of the data to a portable hard drive. The thing is, if that portable hard drive gets dropped, we are screwed. That has all of our QuickBooks, that has all our documents, that has just a lot of information. So we're talking about getting a new hard drive, but we're going to do a server where not only the clerk will have the laptop, she can access the data on the server. As I do my bookkeeping, at the same time, my data will be stored on the server, and then it will be uploaded off-site. So if we were actually hit with a hurricane and we had to redo our data, it's safely someone else other than in this building.
Yeah, if there's a
And
fire.
that way, if we can also take the data that we retrieve from all of those old computers, we can also put that on there as well. So we have a lot of the data that we need to preserve.
Many of you know I've offered to buy new computers for the town of Otter Creek in the past. Now put yourself in Otter Creek's position when you have this small little cultist group on the outside claiming that they all work for me, I'm controlling them. You know, how is that going to look for them if all of a sudden Jeremy goes, hey, here's a computer, and they're going, oh, we're putting all our information on it. Then they're going to be claimed, oh, Jeremy gets all the information from the computer. As a matter of fact, I mean, there's already people saying they all work for me. Why hasn't anybody yet said that Don works for me? Because anybody who utters the words unincorporate all of a sudden is said, hey, you work for Jeremy. Don, our hero, he doesn't work for me?
Okay, so this is from Gator.
This is from Gator.
And these specifications, who gave you the specifications?
We told them what we needed, and then they gave us what they did, and then it will update or to maintain our server and give us, and also answer any problems that we have.
Well, if we had an IT person.
They're gonna, it's 8719.
Explain what we had. This, what he gave us here is overkill. This thing will run Tampa almost.
Oh yes, that's why I didn't hire Don, because previously Don has told us he can't even open email attachments. Now he has so much knowledge about computers and he can even run a town, a city, Tampa. I wonder if he's running the airport too. He knows everything about computers, just can't open attachments.
That's what we want to do. I'm not looking for
No,
suggestions,
no.
I'm just saying,
Well-
if we don't,
I think for like $3,000, $6,000 a month for maintenance.
no, it's $87.19 a month for the maintenance. But to get the new
Yeah, but
system,
it's $1,000 a year, probably more. But at any rate, this is so overkill. I went through and checked a lot of prices on everything that he had quoted us. And I got the numbers, but
I don't know, we need the numbers. I mean, I know Gator Works, it's lifespan. If we go down, someone is coming to me right away. They've already proved it.
I can
And so
understand
they
that.
can- so I know
Well, he
Gator
could always come to, why do we have to spend $3,000 to get his stuff whenever we could probably get it for at least $1,000 less?
Please tell me where you got your quotes so I can tell him what
Well, I
kind of
think we
system
should
and he can
have a
look at.
system that's adequate for our town.
Yes, sir.
Not
There
something
again.
that, I mean,
There
a
again.
gamer or something.
I understand what Don's saying. He wants a system that's adequate for the town, but not overkill. And to do that, you have to have the right system. I mean, honestly, it could be a laptop, but that's not the only thing they're purchasing. They're purchasing backup. They're purchasing a server. George and I, we back up everything on external hard drives with no internal components so it can never get broken. It's our library of our life. We have multiple external hard drives. We pay for that, and the town has to pay for those services as well. Now, Don's not accustomed to this because Don's accustomed to things that were done wrong. I mean, let's just face it, done completely wrong. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you some of the things that were done so completely wrong, as I have some of the 6,000 emails.
Well, the system needs to be more than we need, otherwise, so it has room to work and do the things it's gotta
Okay,
have.
just check that out when you go home and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm not saying.
I make a
I'm not
motion, we go with Gator Works.
Okay, I have a motion that we are going with the computer system and maintenance from
Well,
Gator
how come
Works.
you're supposed to have three estimates? We get one estimate from somebody. I think we should get a proper amount of bids on this. Just can't go to the first person that comes along, especially with the numbers that he gave us.
I agree with Don. There should be 3 quotes. Even if it's from a company in Gainesville that says, we will not service your area, now we have something to look at. GatorWorks will. Another company in Gainesville says, no, we won't come out there. Another company in Gainesville says, nope, too far away. At least there's 3 to look at. And as a matter of fact, that's standard procedure. Even if it's a no, they can make an educated decision from that.
We need something to compare.
I think the time frame is the more crunch.
You keep coming up with this, everything's an emergency, every time we have a problem.
We're still in
So if our
hurricane, we're still in
computer
hurricane
system goes
season.
down, that's not an emergency?
She's telling you we're
It's
having
not
trouble
down,
with this thing coming back
but
online.
Why can't we get more than one estimate?
Everything is an emergency. We literally had a person in the office that was completely and totally incompetent. Everything is in disarray. We got county deadlines that aren't being met. We got state deadlines that aren't being met. Federal deadlines that aren't being met. It is an emergency. And what did Russ The Suss do? Lock down the building for over 2 months because we all know
Ain't no clerk, ain't no sheriff.
But we're required to get more than one estimate.
Then,
We're required to
how
get
about,
3.
okay, if we get another estimate, all right, let's do this. If you want us to get another estimate, you make the motion that we get a second motion.
I shouldn't have to make a motion, it's policy,
Hold on.
it's
I'm just
procedure.
trying to get you to say that when it takes place, that you understand it. Make the motion that we get another quote on it. If we get another quote and it's less, then we go with them. If it's the same or more, then we go with this one.
That's not the way the process works.
We're in a time frame here. We're in hurricane season still, and we're talking about the system going down and not coming back up.
I can't buy that.
Well, we're not asking you to buy it. We're asking you to.
Well, I'm
consider
saying
the
if you
town's
don't get
needs.
more estimates, then we're not doing it right, we're doing it wrong. I think we should do things right, that's what everyone says they want to do.
I'll second your motion.
Okay, I have a second on the floor to replace the system with Gator Works. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I oppose.
I'm gonna post too, because I would like to see two more quotes. We need to get 3 quotes on everything that's done.
I Not anymore.
That's standard operating procedure.
Hold up, wait a minute. Did Russ The Suss just say that we have to get 3 quotes on everything? The king of mayorship. Let's do a little flashback.
When we get these bids, is there a number that we're supposed to get? Like we're supposed to get 2 or 3 or 4? Or like one bid certainly isn't a bid. It's just this is a separate question.
I tried for 3.
Yes.
I thought 3 should be.
Yes, I think
You know,
we should be the number.
Okay, what if you can't get 3? We got 2 bids on moving this air conditioning unit off of the end of the septic tank. They was real close. One of them was from Jack Spann, who does all of our maintenance work. And I highly recommend that we hire him, because if the thing quits, he'll come work on it. I don't know who the other guy is or where he's from. You know anything about him?
He does Stewart's AC work, and he was a really, really nice man, and he said, don't let anybody sell you a new unit. He says, you've got one of the best.
So we're just gonna keep talking and ignore the fact that there's an air conditioner on the septic tank in Otter Creek?
For this pressure tank around here, there's 2 quotes in there. And that's all I could get.
You said 20,000 plus. If he has to do that, how are we gonna guarantee that flush doesn't go to $10,000? I mean, I don't know if we can put a cap on it. We don't know what the ballpark is. But if we just give him the contract and he said, well, it was 20 grand like we told you, but we had to do $10,000 more work.
9 months ago, it wasn't standard operating procedure for Russ to provide 3 quotes. As a matter of fact, I could go back further and I could show you video after video where Russell only provides 1 quote. There's quotes for literally $20,000. 1 quote. Him and Don fighting. You can go back through the library and look at all of that. The point is this. Russ all of a sudden holds Madam Mayor Therese up to a higher standard that he never operated at all. And this fool seems to forget that everything he did and said is on video.
I remember quite a few meetings that you've taken just one estimate because it was a time.
That's not
and you
true.
passed it. Yes, it is
Madam
true,
Mayor,
and it's
next
been
up,
done
please.
multiple times.
That shows an example.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get
Making a
those
statement.
quotes, and if the system crashes, nobody gets their water bills and nothing goes on.
No, you're not being.
I'm telling you the truth. That's an emergency situation.
It's,
Everything's an emergency.
and it can pass with the 3. It can pass with the 3 eyes.
It can pass, but
You go on record as
it's
2
not
days, but
legal.
still.
Don the Con just says it's not legal to actually make a motion, to actually pass the motion, and move forward without 3 quotes. Do you have any comprehension of how many times Don has actually voted yes? As a matter of fact, in the flashbacks, Don voted yes on all of those. You know what that means? Don is a part of illegal activity and corruption by his own definition in this meeting.
All right, let's just move on to the department reports. Do we have anything to report for administration, maintenance, parks and rec, public safety, building, zoning, and water?
Water, definitely got stuff.
All right, go ahead.
Plant number 1 over on 24, we have applied for our permit for the DEP. Pursued on with getting that all back online. And we didn't have a response from them. They've got a lot of change of staff, so we're not really certain what kind of time frames they're going to get back to us.
We still don't have clean water in Otter Creek. The entire filter system is down. It doesn't matter that other people tell you that the water may be clean. They're fools. We don't have clean water, and we're still waiting for clean water. And yeah, Don still owes me $50.
I'll bet you $50 it'll pass any test you put it through.
Hoping for soon, but obviously it could go long a couple months. That's the status on plant 1. Plant 2, with the hurricane come through, tree branch fell and busted the compressor housing and pump system on the hydro tank and it's burned up the pump. We've set it up temporarily, moved it inside, and got it on a different pump right now. We have filed the claim with the insurance company on it. We've got to finalize the hardline plumbing to get everything from temporary back to a permanent status. And then the insurance is going to cover most or all of it. They've been pretty eager so far to work with us. I think that's...
The town was extremely fortunate that the damage was limited during the hurricane, but hurricane season isn't over yet. And I do want to personally thank Vice Mayor Zim for ensuring that all the people in Otter Creek, they had water the entire time. They never once went without because he made sure they didn't. That's investing into your town and the people.
Missing something?
Do you have anything for administration, Linda? Anything else?
No, at this time, the financials are still under construction. Week before last, Helen Jones came in and did the 2022 audit. Spent all week with us. Did some adjusting. They requested some copies of some things, so we've given it to them. We need to make a few more adjustments. By the end of the second week in October, Helen Jones will have for the first time ever, have our 2023 information so that we're not a year behind.
Our outside audit firm's got to be thrilled. They actually have the information in place now. Mary could not do this job. As a matter of fact, I actually shared with you that I have 6,000 emails, part of my records request. I'm going to show you one of the parts of an email that she sent another town manager and what Mary had to say about herself. And trust me, there's a ton to go over in these emails. It's not just the French toast casserole recipe. There's things she has to say about me. There's things she has to say about the turtle people. There's things she has to say about the entire town. There's things she says about council member Gail. There's things she says about council member Don. And I promise you, when I share all this, these people and the town are not going to be happy.
All the things that are just leaning out there that shouldn't be there, and so we should have those fixed by the end of the month.
Now, with that being on board the way it is, will their fees go down?
We're hoping. They're supposed to be giving me an invoice to let me know in the past, because we didn't have everything done, and they had to create everything on their end. It costs us about $10,000 every year to do the taxes, the audit. So this year, because everything is up to par, and I can give it to them in a timely manner, they shouldn't have any problem, and it shouldn't cost us an arm and a leg.
Might even pay for a computer and the savings there. Who knows? We'll see.
What's that?
I don't recall paying $10,000 for an audit.
Let's have a heart-to-heart. In all seriousness, in all reality, at what point do you understand you're not fit to serve? Because you have limitations and you have things that you can't comprehend because of those limitations. Now, I'm not saying age has to do with it. It's an obvious limitation. Don can't recall any of these things. He was there. He actually voted. He is the one that was on the council when they had to move forward with an audit legally. So again, at what point do you go, I'm not fit to serve? Which this is a huge issue in Otter Creek, because you have 100 people, give or take a handful or two. And who is fit to serve? Who has the education? Who has the knowledge? The understanding to actually handle and budget money appropriately? In a town that size, very, very few. And those who do have things going on in their life already. They don't want to go to a town hall meeting and fight and bicker and argue. They want positive things. They don't want the negative things that the town hall council brings, right? You get that, right? So that's another reason.
I make the motion that we unincorporate.
Last year, we spent $10,000, a little over $10,000. The first part was $6,000, then they came back. You had to spend $3,000 on them. Yeah, you guys have been spending that much on them.
Those should have been in your financials that you received.
You do realize the point that Madam Mayor is making? Don never received financials from Russell, the guy who's now demanding every financial piece of paperwork from Therese. And yet he gave Don nothing.
Well, I'm just saying,
I mean, I'm shocked as well, because it shouldn't cost you that much.
It wasn't that much before.
Well, I understand why they charged us, because when they have to take all your raw data and put it in their system.
I understand, time consumption.
Well, hopefully this year it won't be, because it's already, it's completed. All the bank statements are reconciled, the quarterly, the only thing I have to wait on in October is the quarterly payroll report and the bank statement for September. Once those are reconciled, I'll upload those and we're done. Everything will be given to them to do our 2023 audit.
Starting in October?
By the second week in October. The first week we get the bank statement, and I have until then I can do the quarterly report, and that's all they will need.
Are they gonna come in and give us a little synopsis?
They will, they're gonna come in and give us the synopsis on the 2022 audit, which should be finished in the next couple of weeks. And then they already know, they've already looked at the books that I've gotten done so far on the 2023, and we're up to, they already know I know what to send them. Everything is good. We're now, since we reconciled everything, we've gotten all of the missed deposits, all the missed checks that weren't posted. So
they'll be coming back soon to do 2023.
Yeah, and thank you, Belinda. I know you did a lot of work working with them,
You-
and I appreciate that.
You certainly have. You've done an amazing job in the records in here in our county, and just amazing the years of stuff that's been so disarranged that you've actually got it back in orders now, and by yearly, monthly at least, and we can now hope we can start fine tuning that more. Done a lot of work here. There's been a tremendous amount of work been done inside this office in the past several months.
These ladies took a sinking ship, and the captain was Russell, and the first mate was Mary. And it was already underwater, miraculously, with sharks swimming all around. They took buckets, they bailed out all of the water, and they got the ship to actually come above water and start to float again. Now, it's not completely above water, but this is amazing what they've been able to do and accomplish. Like, absolutely miraculously amazing. And we can't thank them enough.
the resolution book is up to par. The ordinance book is up to date, so there will be a copy for the public to review, and I'll make sure it stays on the back here with the rest of the books. That should be coming as well by the end of the month, the end of the fiscal year. So we will also be starting to have the minutes, and so you guys will be able to see exactly what comes to the table. The law says that I have to keep the minutes per lifetime, but the information in the packet's only for 2 years, so we need to backtrack and get some of the stuff in with that. But those will also be readily available to the public for review. Okay?
They've got all the public records in order now. And you're saying, Jeremy, don't you have a lawsuit with the town in regards to public records? Yes, it was Mary and Russell. It's not Therese and Belinda. Okay, so Mary ignores it, sends information to Attorney Warren, says, now I'm in charge of your public information requests. And what does he provide me? Nothing, because they know where nothing is. It was literally heaps and mounds and piles of just paperwork everywhere. It was a nightmare. And now we have the dream team.
Yep, and GatorWorks has also been working on the website, and they have it up, but they're still under construction somewhat. So that's good too. So
public
stuff will
information is
be,
going to be quickly available.
right,
to everybody
notices,
who's
announcements, they'll be easy to get, which is great. That'll cause so much less stress. All right, anything else for that? All right, under announcements, again, we have the children's food table coming every other Friday about 1:30. It's $7, and the next time is on the 15th, and then the 29th. Just make sure you bring a sturdy box to put things in. And you can sign up for the email of the water bills, get them faster, and it produces less cost for our town. And the next Waukesasa water meeting will be here September 20th, which is next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Everybody is invited to attend. And the advertisement for our town attorney will be in this week's paper on the 14th and in next week's paper, I believe the 21st. It's already advertised online.
Local attorneys don't want anything to do with Otter Creek because of Russ The Suss. It's all the liability he has placed the town in. Now, when we had Attorney Warm, he refused to litigate. So the town had to get another law firm to actually litigate the lawsuit that I have with them. But they're not going to remain the town attorneys. They're not even local. And so we had the best. We literally had the best attorney. And Russ The Suss burnt that bridge. We got the worst, Attorney Warm, who won't even do the job that he needs to do for the town. And you're going to see in these 6,000 emails corruption and inappropriate communication with Mary. Trust me, these emails are coming out within the week.
And that, we're back to public comments. Did anybody, oh, did you have something?
I want to ask this, can we do the workshop, like Mr. Fuller said, and get this town involved
With
to
the,
see if we want to stay in city or unincorporated?
The problem with the workshop, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
The public's not allowed to participate in
Oh,
the
just
workshop.
us.
Just us.
Excuse me, that's opposite of what actually is.
Yes.
A workshop is for the people.
That head in the back doing this, that's from years and years of experience. It's not a dirty Halloween prop. It's not a crypt keeper. It's not E.T. who lost his way. That's Lynette. And I use the term woman extremely loosely because she would be that, especially with her past. Thinking that she actually has some knowledge. This woman is literally the most foolish woman I have ever met in my life, who will jump on the bandwagon on one thing and then jump over to the other, completely and totally opposed to Russell. And after the meeting, she goes up to Russell. Is there anything you need from me, Russell?
Hey, Russ. You need anything else from me?
And the council sits as participants along with the people in the workshop because you're looking for opinions from the people.
If that be the case, I guess we'll look into it and see what that is. But according to Russell Weeks and Mary, you're right, it has always been a workshop, there's no public participation.
You can't do that.
who would I,
We never had a workshop, Sam.
We did have workshops. We have workshops.
Maybe that's the problem. I never had a workshop.
I don't know if public participation is allowed in a workshop or not. I actually tried to figure that out. I couldn't do it with a simple Google search, so I don't have that answer. But I do have questions for Mr. Fuller. I respect you. Why did you sit at the table with the council, with Russell, with Don, with Mary, with Stuart, with Captain Dan, and you never said one word? Now all of a sudden you're coming to the meetings and you have a plethora of information to share. And I appreciate the information you're sharing, but it seems it's a little late.
We did the budgets at the regular meeting. At the budget meeting, close that meeting, and then start the regular meeting.
it wasn't a budget workshop that you did every year before the Trump? Should have been.
Right?
Mr. Fuller, who would I ask about that question if we can be unincorporated before we have this meeting? I would need to ask that. You said there's somebody I could ask
Tax
that you didn't want to give the answer to, so who would I reach out to?
It's at this point things really heat up again.
The reason to argue that it's good for you. You're supposed to get breathing.
These are real people, real lives in a real town, and we're really sick and tired of the corruption. More to come.